Happy New Year! 新年快乐! 新年快乐! Friends, it's 2023 years after Jesus came to this earth.
That's crazy.
You guys know that that's why we have the years we do?
Yeah, it's based on
AD and BC.
Right. And we just celebrated Christmas, celebrating when Jesus was born, but time is centered around him.
Does anyone know what AD stands for? That's our question for today. You can Google it because it's not English. It stands for two Latin words. AD. We'll see if we remember and give you the answer at the end of this. Friends, today is the first live stream of the new year. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
John, I don't really do New Year's resolutions formally. I sort of think about some things. But I like sometimes to do a word for the year. And I've talked about this before on AD Radio if you've listened over the years. And I was actually thinking about this yesterday a bit, and I think my word for this year is joy.
J-O-Y.
J-O-Y. And so the idea of doing a word for the year is something to focus on throughout the year. The problem is it's easy to forget about it, right? Same as New Year's resolutions. But I like the simplicity of it, right? And obviously, for me, I would like to sort of think about, what is God wanting to do in my life this year? What is He wanting to bring into my focus? And I think joy is the word for this year. So I need to live a more like joy-filled life or joyful life. Yeah.
Joyful. So there's another vocab. Joyful means literally to be filled with joy. If someone is joyful, they have a lot of joy.
How about you?
I was thinking about that, and I still don't have one answer, but I would love to hear your answers. This is our discussion question. Let's think about it together. We'd love to read your responses right now. Our question is, what are your New Year's resolutions? Okay, I'll talk about my resolutions in a second, but let's unpack that key vocabulary word, resolution.
Right, a resolution in this sense is something that you're wanting. You're saying, I'm going to do this.
I'm going to do it.
In the coming year, starting now, because we're in the new year, I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to read more, whatever it is. And we often talk about that around this time of year in advance. We have articles about New Year's resolutions. And so, it's that time of year again, and you can kind of hear that like, oh no,
I have to make something.
But we hope it's not like that. It's not overwhelming. We have to choose attainable goals, and goals I think is even maybe an easier way to think about it.
Right,
as just setting some goals for the new year.
Yeah, your goal. A goal is the thing you go for. A resolution is also where we get that word. The verb is resolve. R-E-S-O-L-V-E. And you can also use resolve as a noun. So you can say, I set my resolve on something. Or I was resolved. It means, like strong commitment to something.
Determined to do something.
Yeah. Right? So my commitment for this year is to focus on being a dad first. Before I focus on work, before I focus on other things. Make sure that I'm spending time with my kids and being a good dad, getting to know my kids, listening to them, and spending time where I pay attention with them. That's my resolution.
That's really important.
For this year.
That's inspiring for me as a new dad. And we have science to back that up. We've ran these Ask Mr. Dad articles, and it talks about how dads who are more involved help their kids do better in school, for example, I think is one of the stats. And so there's science to back it up. It's not just, some pie in the sky kind of thing. And so I think that's a really great resolution.
It's mine. And also, that is one way to be filled with joy, really enjoying your kids. We think about kids and we want them to do well in the future. But one of the it's what we call a win-win situation, enjoying time with your kids. Because it blesses them long term.
And sometimes in order to do that, you have to stop and live in the moment, right? And sometimes we get so caught up in getting tasks done. And we can bring that to every area of our lives, and that our relationships can suffer as a result, right? Totally. We have to live in the moment, right? And I think that is true for kids, family, friends, and whoever.
Yeah, to be present. So we'll talk in our article from this week about what makes not just a good father, but a good leader. There, in our article today, we will talk more about what makes a good leadership what makes a good leader? Excuse me. What are the good signs of leadership? Let's go to our poll really quick.
All right, poll time.
Now, there are many qualities for a good leader, right? This is not an exhaustive list. That means this list doesn't have every answer that could be there. But on this list, which of these things do you think is the most important quality for a leader? Kindness, skill, ability to inspire others or to make them be filled with the courage and desire to do things, or a vision for the future. When you hear that word,
those are all amazing things.
They're all important. But if you had to pick one, let's say, if you had to pick one, what would you pick? Really quick, that word vision, we use that a lot in the business world.
Yeah, you need vision to look. You're looking forward, right? And as you call them a visionary, right? A person, maybe a CEO would be considered a visionary. They're looking forward to the future. What are the plans that we should put in place? Some people are really detail-oriented and maybe not focused on the future so much, and we need both of those kinds of people working together to fulfill the vision, for example. And so having vision for the future is important, but we can apply that right now to our own lives as we start a new year. As individuals, we need vision for our lives. Sometimes we feel like robots, right? Just going through life, but we need a vision to inspire us, right?
Yeah, that's really important. So vision is the ability to see, or basically the ability to see things that haven't happened yet. So a true vision, we call that a prophecy, where you actually know what's going to happen in the future, which is rare. But a leader should have a sense of, where is the company going? Now, it's not the only thing there. It looks like the ability to inspire others and vision are neck and neck. When you inspire other people, you help them to see the vision of the company. A leader that can help everybody feel like they're a true part of the team is very important. We all know that it's difficult to work when no one appreciates the work we're doing.
It's true.
It makes it this personal, private battle.
So which one on this list for you, John, would you choose?
Well, we also haven't talked about skill and kindness. I think kindness is an absolute must for long-term leadership. If you have a leader that's unkind, you could be skilled and have a great vision, but it's not worth anything, in my opinion. Skill is really important. It's kind of like an amplifying factor for other things. If you're skilled in leadership, you might be able to do more. But I think that the ability to inspire others is key, because as a leader, you're responsible for multiple people. So this is a hard question, but you want people to be one team, right?
I agree with you. I would choose that one about inspiring others. That's what sticks out for me. It's not easy to inspire others, and if you are a leader, you need to inspire others in order for them to really follow. Right?
That's true.
And so it is important to inspire others. It's interesting to me, John, that no one so far has chosen skill. And I wonder if that's because it's, that's the most basic thing that you would expect in a leader. But these other things we don't always see in leaders, and we want to see maybe more of that.
That's right. Oftentimes leaders are picked based on their skill. It's interesting. When I think about I think about this question a lot, because I've studied and I got my master's degree in Bible studies. So I've studied a lot of different world religions. When I look at a leader, specifically a religious leader, there's one question I ask. When they are gone, what do their followers do? Oftentimes you'll see people split into two big groups, like with Muhammad. It went left and right, his son and his first follower. Or with Joseph Smith, everyone went left and right. There wasn't a unity. So that's one of the reasons I love Jesus, because there was a unity. And that's the same for businesses, for everything. What happens when the first CEO steps away? Is there unity there? So that's how you can tell if a leader is good.
It's not all built around one person, right? They were able to train up other people to do the work and continue it on, right? So it's really important to do that as a leader. It's not all about the person, right? It's about the mission that you are on. So far, John, 14% are saying kindness, 43 inspiring others, and 43 vision for the future.
And these are all important. And, let's talk about skill for just a second. Skill is really important. It's helpful to have someone who you're following who they're really good at certain things.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that as a leader, you don't have to be good at everything. That's
true.
one of the reasons that having a team is great.
Yeah.
As a leader, you've got a job to lead, and it's helpful to have the people that are really good at things do that. Kind of like a body. It might have one head, but it works well because the kidneys do something the head can't, and the hands do something the head doesn't, and the body works together as one.
Right, that's a really good point. They don't have to know everything, but they do have to be good at making decisions, right?
Yeah.
Someone has to make the final call on something, and so that's important. But I like that point because you don't have to know everything, be good at everything. You can grow in areas as well as a leader, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're coming to the end of our time.
Yeah.
And we talked about New Year's resolutions, and we talked about leadership. And we just want to remind you as well, if you haven't become a member yet, it's a great time to do it because it's the new year, right? So go ahead and click join now. Go get some extra content for just 150 NT dollars per month. So just click join now, and if you haven't subscribed to our page, we invite you to do that. It really helps us out if you do that, and share it with your friends and all of that.
We hope that we can inspire you to learn English. Look, this last year was tough. It was confusing. We all were very distracted by the news, but this can be a good year to focus. And you don't have to learn every word ever in English to speak it. You probably know enough already that you can speak just fine.
Yeah.
So I want to inspire you. Just take that little bit of courage you have to speak English and use it. Like a seed, just throw it out there, and I promise your English will grow if you practice with this. So
we are all inspired, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jayo!
Thank you, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New
See
Year,
you next
guys.
Monday.